Hello and welcome to the Titus Timeout podcast. I'm Jenny Abney-Civy, and today I'm going to talk about those deflectors you sometimes see around diffusers in the ceiling. So this week I was in an airport and I looked up to see that the diffusers had a piece of plastic around the outside of the diffuser face. You've probably seen them before. They look something like this. So this is the diffuser in white, and in red we'll draw the deflector. So the deflector sits below the ceiling about 2 to 3 inches. Let's get rid of these little section of line here so you can kind of tell that you're looking up into it. And let's draw in a ceiling grid so hopefully you kind of get an idea of what you're looking. You'd be looking up at this and the deflector would be coming towards you. Okay, let me scoot this over a little bit so we can keep looking at it, but I have room to write. So we see these installed for one of two reasons usually. First is to direct heat down into this occupied space. And second, to keep dirt off the ceiling. So let's look at these two. We'll start with the first one, directing heat into the space. Make some room to draw a diffuser in a ceiling. So this would be your diffuser. So if you recall from the Throw podcast, ceiling diffusers are designed so that air comes out of the diffuser and hugs the ceiling. This allows the cold supply air to mix with the air of the space and then kind of roll the room. Hot air will not travel as far as cold air, so during the heating season, the warm air coming out of the diffuser may not make it into the occupied space. This is why we make diffusers that have downward projection by design, like the TMSA. The TMSA allows you to adjust your diffuser between a ceiling pattern or a downward projection pattern. So let's look at what happens when you put these deflectors on. Now the airflow is just going to come out and always be in a downward projection pattern. So this may be good in heating, but in cooling you're also going to have the air go straight down. This means people sitting below the diffuser could have cold air dumping on them all day. Plus, since the airflow is no longer rolling the room and mixing with the room, you could have other spots in the room that are too warm. Now let's look at the second reason we see deflectors installed: to keep dirt off the ceiling. I also discussed this in one of my early podcasts. The dirt on the ceiling is called smudging. It's actually a sign your diffuser is working. So here's what's happening. When the air leaves the diffuser and hugs the ceiling, it hugs the ceiling because of a low pressure area just on the outside of the diffuser if you have a ceiling independent diffuser, or it could be on the inside of the diffuser if you have a ceiling dependent diffuser, but we won't get into that right now. This low pressure zone pulls the air up towards the ceiling. This is called the Coanda effect. Dust particles in the room air get trapped in this low pressure area as the room air is mixed into the supply air stream. So that's the dirt you see around the diffuser. If there's dirt in the ceiling tiles near your diffusers, it means the low pressure zone is in that area. If you decide you don't like the dirt and put one of these deflectors around your diffuser, you'll force the air into a downward direction again. But now you may not have dirt on the ceiling anymore, but you're also not going to have comfort because you've caused it to dump into the space directly below it. So the solution to both of these are obviously to just select the correct diffuser for your application instead of adding these deflectors on later. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thanks for taking the time out with us.